guys, it's Mr. Scotty Pie here, and I am here for day 6 of the Cineworld movie challenge. If this is your first video to explain what's going on, the cinema franchise Cineworld have put up a little challenge on their Twitter page where they basically every day they put up a little question about a film which you answer with a personal preference. This is the 6th episode of that. I've been releasing a video every single day, and I will do for the entire 30-day challenge. So today's question is a film you put on when you feel sad. For me, this was a choice of 2 films. It was either The Bean Movie, which is one of my favourite comedy films and just a really light-hearted, fun film, or the film I've chosen for this one, which is Toy Story 1 to be exact. A bit about the film first, which I've been doing recently. It's going to change around then, but now I'll do the normal routine I'm doing. I'll tell you about the film, then I'll talk about my personal experiences with the film and why I chose this one. So this is the first major Pixar release. It was released in 1995 and it starred Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. Tom Hanks playing Woody, Tim Allen playing Buzz Lightyear. This film would have come out when I was about 4 or 5, but I didn't see this film at the cinemas. Oh yeah, so I'll talk about the film first before I get onto that. I just explain that and then I'll change my own rules. This film tells a story of a boy called Andy who gets a new toy for his birthday, which is the Buzz Lightyear. Then we find out all toys are actually alive when no humans are in the room. So we follow their story and introduction of Woody, who kind of leads Andy's toys with the new superhero, most exciting toy out at the moment, Mr. Buzz Lightyear, who doesn't realise he's a toy. He thinks he's an actual superhero, while all the other toys are self-aware, and it tells their story. And you explain, obviously, you show the peril of the next door neighbour who doesn't really want toys, he wants to torture them and mould them, and you also get the peril of moving house, so you get the adventure of toys that might go missing or left behind, and you don't want that. And it goes in this a bit of adventure story, so it has a bit of action, a bit of peril, adventure. It's a bit of everything really, and obviously it's got a comedy. It's really funny, light-hearted. It's a full family film. I'm sure you don't need to explain that because Toy Story is such a well-loved, huge franchise. It spawned Pixar for what it is today, and obviously the future of kids films, in my opinion, and how they were animated. This is a whole new way of animating films with computer technology, which obviously we don't really get too excited about now, but that's because Toy Story paved the way to what we all know and expect to see from a Pixar film or even Disney films, and pretty much all kids films going forward. So obviously Toy Story was a game changer for technology, kids movies, family movies, Pixar, and obviously then Disney, because obviously Disney then in later years brought the Pixar company, because Disney buy everything. But yeah, so obviously Toy Story is a huge film, and obviously it then spawned on 3 more sequels, for better or for worse, depending which ones you watch. Now, they're all good, but I've got my opinions on the 4th one, which I won't talk about in this video, maybe in a later video. But anyway, as I said, so this film would have come out when I was about, actually, when I was about 5 or 6, not 4 or 5, about 5 or 6, 4 or 5, 4 or 5, not 5 or 6, when I was 4 or 5, I forgot how old I was then. That's not good. But yeah, as I said, I didn't see this film at the cinema. I never even heard of this film really. As someone of that age, I wouldn't have really noticed. I first learned about this film one Christmas when I believe it was one of my cousins, one of my older cousins who was a lot older than me, an adult, brought me this for a Christmas present on VHS. So I must have been about 5 or 6 at the time, maybe closer to 7. I can't exactly remember, but I remember getting the video and really excited because I think this was my first ever video that I owned. It wasn't a family video, it wasn't my parents brought it and it's theirs, but we can watch it. It was someone brought this video for me specifically, so it was my first ever video. So I think it's got quite a lot of sentimental value for that. And obviously I watched it and instantly fell in love with it. It was a kid's film and I was a kid. It was aimed at me. It was everything I wanted: bright colours, funny, action, adventure, as I just said, everything there. It was, for me, it got me excited. I loved it. Who wouldn't love this film as a kid? Even kids now, obviously, watch this like 25 years later, would still watch this film and absolutely fall in love with it. This is a film that hasn't dated for a second. And that's why they're still obviously releasing these films as not reboots, but carrying on the story, because it's still, kids now are still interested by these characters. You can still release these films now, and kids that have witnessed all these other massive money poured into these kids films still look at Toy Story and go, we want to watch this more because it has that legacy. The reason it goes on for a film put on when I'm sad, this all kind of started obviously when you're a kid, when you've got a birthday coming up, you can't sleep the night before. So one year I decided to put Toy Story on and I'd watch that through, and it always made me feel really warm inside. I think the best description of it is warm inside. And it ended up being something I did for about 5 years straight. The day before my birthday, the night before my birthday, I'd always stick Toy Story on to get me to sleep because I'd always be so excited. And after that, when I realised, I didn't realise I did that so many times in a row. It just happened to be the go-to film because it always made me feel good inside, warm inside, and happy. I decided to just keep up the ritual, and obviously when things was a DVD, I bought the DVD, and it kind of continued like that. I don't do it as much anymore. Well, I haven't done that in about 10 years maybe. But it's a film that even on reminiscence, I still feel warm about, and I do watch this film obviously about once a year still anyway. It's an absolute golden masterpiece of a kids film, probably one of the best ever made in my opinion. But it's, and even then it flashes me back to those times of so excited for my birthday next day, and the warm feeling the film made me, and all these emotions that was put back to me. Every emotion it brings back is one of happiness and joy and warmth. So if ever feeling sad, I stick this film on, I get this rush of happiness and warmth and safety, I guess. This film provides all that to me, and I think that's why I chose this film. I said I was choosing this and Bean film because the Bean film has quite similar things to me, but I'm not talking about too much of that because that will come on later on this list, on these daily challenges. The Bean movie is featured, so I'm not going to talk much about that. I'm going to talk about more about Toy Story. But yeah, that explains obviously the film, what it means to me, my history of it. So what's your film that you put on when you feel sad? Is it something completely different? Is it something similar? Is it Toy Story? Hit me up in the comments. I do respond to all comments and everything, so drop me on there. If you enjoyed the video, drop it a like. If you're enjoying these daily challenges, hit subscribe. Maybe hit the bell notification so you can see when I drop these videos. As I said, they'll be on a daily basis. I'll try and get them up on the same sort of time, but you know, things happen. So drop the bell notification. And you can also hit me on Twitter. You can have a chat with me on there. Follow me. It's at Mr. Scotty Pie, the same as the channel name. So yeah, that's great. Let me know what your choice is, and have a good. And thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you'd like to drop a like, a subscribe, share, hit the bell notification, that would be amazing. And you will see on this side of my head, you will see another video which YouTube has recommended just for you. And on this side of my head, you will see a logo to subscribe to the channel. If you want to hit that, I will love you forever. Goodbye.